Chloe, I find you a very interesting lady, very attractive lady. May I ask if you have a boyfriend?
Well, I have got somebody in my life.
Oh, that's lovely.
I think I have more than one person in my life.
Oh.
But I find it very confusing. And I thought that maybe some of you here could shed light. I don't think I'm very good at relationships because I keep getting them wrong. And I'm longing to know how people 50, 60 years older than me managed.
Once again, nearing 40, I find myself struggling with the question of love. What hope is there for meaningful and lasting relationships when our mothers had forced the combative ravings of Germaine Greer on us, entreating us not to make the mistakes they had made? And then if that wasn't enough, curling up for solace under the duvet with a good book, only to have one's fantasies of romantic harmony dashed by the mental turmoil and suicides of Emma Bovary and Cathy Linton, as they tried to balance domestic boredom with erotic passion. But did emancipation mean we were forever alone? That short of a lobotomy or large doses of Valium, we could never settle peacefully with a man? And then I stumbled across this old people's home off the Edgware Road. How did these aged women do it? How did they live with one man for half a century, love him, and have been happy? Was it because they were unliberated, miserable, and repressed, as Germaine would have it? Or did they know something that I didn't?
Hello!
Oh, hello, Chloe.
I can hear everything you're saying, Chloe.
This is Lucy. Lucy believes in there being one right man for everyone.
I don't think you've met the man, love of your life. Because when you do, when you meet the love of your life, you'll know.
The fairy tale version that secretly I want to believe in. No need to work on yourself and all your complications if there's a model out there, somewhere, who will fit perfectly without any adjustments required.
Those pictures on the wall, my husband did those. He was very artistic, my husband. He was very clever. He was definitely clever. Son of a gentry. Oh, there he is. There's my darling. We had 34 wonderful years. Lovely man, my child. Still miss him.
How did you make it work?
How was what, darling? I'm
How did
going to
you-
have a hearing aid soon. I'm getting a bit deaf.
How did you make it work?
Our marriage?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we both liked greyhound racing. John and I would go when he was off duty, I mean Saturdays, sometimes on duty, we go to Wembley Greyhound Track.
Is it really that simple? Going on outings? But what about combining mind, body and soul on a meaningful and lofty journey that will take us to places we could never venture alone? Surely that isn't the Greyhound Track in Wembley. I call on Maria to see whether she has a different perspective.
Yeah. When he looked at you like this, your knees wobbled. Still, it's getting on for 8 years now, and I still miss him. So that tells you. And we were married 56 years, which you don't hear so often nowadays, do you?
Maria, what do you think the secret of a good marriage is?
Working together and talking, you know. if you have something on your mind, say so, and sort it out. Because everything can be sorted out if you talk.
Talking things through. But how many words become empty tirades restating one's firmly held position with no intent to really change the status quo? Perhaps Maria really understands the art of listening, or maybe she's just more tolerant than I am. And then, of course, there's sex. I had to ask. Surely trying to reconcile the domestic and the erotic is the biggest hurdle we face. Erotic love. That yearning physical craving to melt into the body of another, the gorgeous, ecstatic consummation of all one's love. But it can be so short-lived, and who's for sticking around when what was a daily experience of ecstasy becomes a tedious routine at the end of a dull month?
So, where did you learn about sex when you were young?
Sex?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. I remember getting into bed. Didn't know. But I sort of knew what you had to do, that was all. I didn't have to bother anymore, not with my husband. I'll tell you quite frankly, I was very, how shall I say, not like those youngsters nowadays. They meet and jump into bed. Although I was already 27, I hadn't had a man before. And he was the first one, and that was because the first night I told him, I said, I'm going undressed and I go in the showroom. He said, well, we're married, you can. I said, no.
Every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, the old ladies have a coffee morning, and this Wednesday they've invited me along. A room full of women who have all had lifelong functional relationships, and they don't want to talk about it.
No. Drink your coffee so you can feel warm.
Valerie, you were saying something about courtship.
Yes. Years ago they used to courtship, you know, for a long time, whereas you younger people don't. I'm not saying you in particular, but most young people. And you have to example the bed. If the partner's no good, they don't want each other.
To be in a permanent state of courtship, that's what I'd like. Never possessing and always wanting.
Did you not ever go with a man before you got married?
Not me, no.
You sure? Lucy.
Oh, no.
You sure?
No,
You start her off again. You sure? You told me that guy before John.
Right.
I did actually, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, but I was married. I married him. I was married before I married John.
Really? Were you married before?
Now she tells us.
Now we know. We didn't hear about this.
I lost
The black sheep
I
is
lost
out.
my virginity, yes.
With who? So John wasn't the first one?
No.
Oh,
I was
poor
married.
John.
I married Freddie. His name was Freddie.
Why did you marry him if you didn't like him?
Looking back now, I don't bloody remember.
Was she ashamed to let on because she felt she'd messed up? Or had she conveniently forgotten because the fiction of love is so much easier to live with than the reality?
I said make me a party on your floor, yeah. Now make me a party on your floor. You can make it soft and low, so's your baby won't never know that you made me a party on your floor.